The Perfect Man is one of those films that definitely kind of feels like a product of its time. Not in the sense that it's offensive or racist or things have become a lot more PC now. Absolutely not. But just in the fashion sense, the mannerisms, the way that people talk to each other, it's kind of quintessential early 21st century. This was released in 2005, directed by Marc Rosman, and stars Hilary Duff and also Caroline Rhea, which makes me very excited. Very much a teen film. The description from IMDb is as follows. A lonely mother begins receiving romantic emails from a secret admirer, unaware that this perfect man is really a creation of her daughter who is trying to cheer her up. Straight away, that's a recipe for disaster. And that's a very kind thing for Holly to do, I guess, going out of her way to make it look like there's a romantic interest for her mother. But at the same time, this is basically just one step away from catfishing. Holly, played by Hilary Duff, is pretending to be this man who has a romantic interest in her mother. And as you can imagine, when this man never materializes, she has to kind of keep this up. And the message is very obvious here. I guess it's kind of a unique message compared to a lot of other films. The message is don't pretend to be a potential suitor for your mother, because what are you going to do when they fall in love? Also, it is, I guess, slightly realistic in the sense that this is a PG film and the messages exchanged are obviously never that flirtatious or heavy. And, you know, when you get that far into an online relationship, it just seems a little bit unrealistic. But it is a PG, what can I expect? I really like it. It's got 5.5 out of 10 on IMDb, which is not the best rating, but it's not bad either. It's fairly an average rating. But I would have given it at least a 6. I think it's colourful, vibrant, high energy, full of surprise. I did want to know what the outcome was going to be. And that's something that I couldn't guess. I couldn't anticipate that. Was the mother going to find out the truth? Were they going to have to create a man? Wrong Caroline ratio. But I was genuinely curious to know what happened. And that's not always the case with a PG film, because usually they're quite blatantly obvious. So that was a really pleasant surprise for me. No issues with the acting, the casting. I love the casting. The narrative, although not entirely realistic, is really interesting and really fascinating. I think the execution was very good. As I said, feels like a product of its time. There are obviously other films that were released around this time. I'm thinking things like Mean Girls, where I think they are timeless. But this one just does feel a little bit dated when you watch it now. But if you are kind of younger than me, by let's say 10 years or more, I'd be really kind of curious to know how you feel with this. Does it feel like you're watching a dated film? Could it be released today? I don't know. I always find films that I watched growing up to be quite dated now. But maybe that's just because it's very nostalgic for me. Although I didn't actually watch this film in 2005. I can't remember when I saw it. I've seen it like 2.5 times now. I can't remember when I saw it for the first time. But I liked it. I liked it enough to watch it again, and I probably will watch it again in the future once I've kind of forgotten what happens. So give me a couple of decades and I'll watch it again. But, you know, even if you just watch it once, I think you'll enjoy it. The Perfect Man is better than the ratings suggest. Not the most predictable. And pretty good fun.